What up is Marcus? We're going to be talking about the top running backs that went in the scouting combine here. We have a couple of different questions after now some of the weigh-ins, some of the 40 times here. So let's just go right into it. Bijan Robinson, the number one overall prospect. Like I said last year, Breece Hall, number one prospect. His 40-yard dash kind of cemented that. I mean, it just made him the top overall prospect, an elite talent. And Bijan Robinson, who I thought was going to run a 4.55, 4.60, runs a 4.46 40, cementing himself as a first-round pick in the NFL draft, in my opinion, and 5'11", 215 pounds. We are talking the talent of Jonathan Taylor, the talent of, again, Breece Hall, but probably even slightly better than those prospects. You're looking at a Saquon Barkley hype level of a Bijan Robinson who has not even turned 21 yet. So Bijan Robinson is absolutely a huge winner here just for the fact that, I mean, his only question is speed. And if he runs a 4.46, man, he is so good. So if you have a one-on-one in Superflex or even in a 1QB league, I mean, especially in a 1QB league, I mean, you are taking Bijan Robinson number one overall. And it's going to be hard to trade that pick away. You want the King's ransom. Number two, Jahmyr Gibbs here. Jahmyr Gibbs, he runs a 4.36 40, which is what you want out of an Alabama running back. I mean, he's an excellent running back. Very Jamal Charles-esque, in my opinion. So that is what we like to see. The potential concerning numbers that we talked about when I was opening up this video is the weight. The weight is going to be the biggest thing. We wanted to get him into that 205 range, and he's 199. He's 5'9", 199, so he is going to be slightly undersized, and so that is going to be a potential BMI concern. We have been seeing quicker and smaller prospects, at least at the wide receiver position, excel at the NFL level. When we talk about like the Devontae Smiths and even like Justin Jefferson, like they're smaller, thin guys. Jahmyr Gibbs, of course, at the running back position, we want to see that 205-ish pounds, and we don't want to see the Gainwell numbers where Gainwell didn't have the weight. We want to see that 205. It's like a big number here. But Jahmyr Gibbs, 5'9", 199, I think with that 4.36 40, he's going to have that second round draft capital. And it's just going to be hard not to take him as the number two overall running back. He's going to be in that sphere with C.J. Stroud, with Jackson Smith, Najigma, Bryce Young, potentially Anthony Richardson, how high he gets drafted. So definitely Jahmyr Gibbs, RB number two. My RB number three, who has kind of, I wouldn't say cemented, but I mean, he is putting a lock on it right now, is Zach Charbonnet, 6 feet tall, 214 pounds. So he has a little bit lower BMI. Again, if you're 6 feet tall, we want you into those 220s, but that's all right. Zach Charbonnet is an excellent pass catcher, runs a 4.53 40, has, again, I think being 6 feet tall, I think he can develop into that. You're talking really close. I mean, an inch off from Bijan Robinson's size. Bijan 5'11", Zach Charbonnet 6 feet tall. I mean, so we are talking, again, about these little things that ultimately may not matter a ton, but just something to note that Zach Charbonnet BMI just slightly lower than what we would be ideally looking for, but again, you're talking about an inch. But 4.53 40, that's what we want out of Zach Charbonnet. And he's going to be a very hard, depending where he lands, he's going to be a very hard prospect to gauge, because he honestly could move up into the category with Jordan Addison, with Quentin Johnston, and with Jackson Smith and Jigma. It's going to be very interesting to see where he goes, especially if he gets second round draft capital. Devon Achane, 5'8.5", 188, and everyone was like, oh my goodness, 4.32 40. Wow, like this guy is fast. And they're impressed, and I was almost like, man, kind of disappointed. How can you be disappointed with a 4.32 40? It is fine, but at 5'8.5", 188, I was almost expecting Devon Achane to be in the 4.2s. I talked about him earlier about how I thought he could potentially break the 40-yard dash record. And he didn't. And so that's where we're at with Devon Achane. 4.32 40. He's going to be a little bit of a gadgety back. You want him in open space. I'd love to see him in like a Miami or an open spread offense. He's going to be a third down running back primarily. He can run through the tackles at least at college, but I think at the NFL level it's going to be different when you're 188 pounds. I mean, you're 15 pounds lighter than we really want you to be, and so he's going to need to use speed. He's going to be gadgety. Which is good for certain offenses, probably better for certain offenses than it is for actual fantasy football-wise. But again, explosion of that 4.32 40, he's extremely fast. So if he gets open, he can be gone. The next one that we're going to talk about, the last one we're going to talk about, is Chase Brown, 40-inch vert, 4.43 40, and then had an excellent broad jump as well. somebody that I need to definitely dive more tape into. I mean, when you have these players that ridiculously overperform than what you're expecting, you have to go back to the tape and say, does this translate through tape? And that's something that I definitely am going to watch more of Chase Brown to see. Did that show at the collegiate level, or was this just kind of more of a without pads and everything like that? He seemed to excel. Like, what is it? What is it? Which one is it? So we're going to be talking about some wide receivers and tight ends as well coming up here. We're going to be talking about some new rankings, some people that are shifting and everything as well. So stay tuned the rest of the week. This is Marcus Dynasty Dads. Peace out. Take care.